Hello, Hype Train Tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play XCOM Apocalypse with me, BlueAnkylo, and our trusty airship full of brave fighters. I'm in a good mood because last episode we finally got through a relatively monotonous section of the game, and now we're into some of the new content, which is always a boon for a Let's Player. Now I will admit some of the city got pretty shot up. The aliens and I had a pretty big smackdown mid-section of the city, but it was all worth it because we got new UFOs for new studying and tech and all that fun stuff. So last episode we had a big alien fight, and we did the first UFO, which was one of the blue-green sort of bubbly guys. I think it's called a bomber, but we'll find out soon enough. Today we're going to take a mission on, hopefully, the other two pink ones. So let's get it going. So let's see what our other squad looks like. This will be our... Oh, I missed one. Oh well. Oh yeah, I was going to bring a no-name. That's right. Oh well. This is our current... This is the squad that's got the psionic troopers in it, and... Not that they're going to be terribly effective yet, but they are starting to train in the Psi Lab at long last, and that'll help. And that does also mean that I gave them like the nice fancy blue armor, the disruptor gear. Okay, so let's do our default setup here. We're right beside the UFO as always. I'm also going to throw in a backup save just for fun. And let's look. So we're in the top area of the map. This is a larger UFO than anything else we've cleared in the game. The one we did last episode was pretty big, but this is bigger than that by a pretty large margin. I forget the name of these things. They're not a battleship, and they're not a mothership. But they're, like, right before that level. So anyway, I think this is our entrance. It's a little bit weird. That might just be a gun, actually. I think this is a giant disruptor cannon, which is why we're here, to bring it home, essentially. So I don't even know how we're getting in this thing. It's kind of hard to walk around it because it takes up half the map. And I don't want to waste too much of our stamina. So let's just group up in the air so that we'll fly around in the air, basically. So everyone up and then over with flight so you don't waste your stamina. And we'll group up over here. And then this team... I mean, it depends on what we're up against. I think I want to keep everybody together. So we'll do the same thing. We'll fly them up in the air. Looks like this entire squad can fly. So I got to remember that my current full team of what am I talking about? Of Team Zenobia, everybody's got flying gear in the main squad. So once I gear up the randoms with no real names yet, I can start sending all the Marsec body armor to New Sorpical. Maybe not as many aliens as I was expecting. This is one of the ships that I would expect to have quite a lot on. Well, this was a really fast ship. You know what? Maybe it's not really a transporter. This might be really more of an agile combat vessel. I'm not sure. But I'm going to group everybody up around there. I don't know why people drop down to the ground and then jump off. I think if you've got these flying suits on, some people just really seem to enjoy bouncing off the ground. Like they jump and then they fall and they boost up and they get a cool little bounce and they probably do a little spin. They do like a somersault midair. I like to think our soldiers are having fun with their jetpacks. Sure, there's an alien invasion and there's a spinner right behind you, but you might as well have some fun with it, right? So is this the way in? Well, this might be the way in. Yeah, this looks... possible, anyway. I don't know if I would say probable, but it could be. It's actually not a terrible way to load up here. Alright. Next turn we'll move close enough that maybe we can see the entrance if there is one. Or we'll just find some skeletoids. That'll work. So this is looking like we went the right direction, which is nice to see. Hopefully no one will take too much damage here. One down. Come on. Come on, air squad. Getting some hits. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's a lot of smoke down there, so they do have some cover. But they don't have the power of flight. Well, actually, they have the power of flight. They don't have the power of surprise. No one expects the XCOM forces. Alright, you guys are going to fly over this way. Oh boy. Just the one. Okay, no problem. Alright, let's send Captain Yago ahead. A little bit ahead, right? Like, you know, like his name. Easy. And I'm assuming there's a way in right there. So for now, just until everyone's in position, let's be smart about this. Trying to get a little bit of use out of our flying suits, because once we're in the UFO, a lot of times there's no room to fly. So for now, you know, making it look cool, flying around. This is almost certainly our first mission where everyone can fly, so, you know. I feel like I haven't really used it much in the Let's Play. Well, I've used it, but not a lot. So it's nice to kind of show some of this stuff off. It does change a couple tactics. If you're in the open field, you don't really need to make a one-dimensional line, because you have the power of flight. You can make a two-dimensional wall of fire, and that would work pretty well. That's always one thing that gets difficult with both video games and like movies and storytelling. Dealing with two-dimensional, like, most people, you like easily conceptualize a two-dimensional platform, like a game of chess or checkers. You know, you got a board, you got like 8 squares by 8 squares in a grid. Like, that's easy for your head to conceptualize, and you can. What? Kill! We're in the air! Don't cheat! Okay, whoever you are, you're the new Pixel of our era. Why are you guys not shooting these things? Alright. I think we're okay by some miracle. That was not what I was expecting. So we are lined up with the entrance pretty well, which at least gets us a couple shots. That was really good. Pretty defensive UFO, actually. I'm not as familiar with this one as I am with some of the earlier ones you see 100 times. I guess, like, that's the door, and then they just start flying out through kind of a tunnel there. Alright, so what was I saying? First off, let's make sure no one died. Nobody died. Alright, so it was Bagel Geese, I believe, who somehow, I don't think anyone shot it off his head, actually just fought it off. So you're Pixel's apprentice, and you have now inherited the ability to fight off brain suckers on your face. Congratulations, Bagel Geese. You are the second chosen one of brain sucker slayers. So, good to have you on the team. I don't think anybody on the team will be upset to have you go in the door first. So now all I'm really trying to do here is get everyone on the same level, just to make things easier to control. As fun as flying is... Okay, so to finish my story, the whole point, and this actually feeds right into it, it's relatively simple to conceptualize a two-dimensional field. And you can have all kinds of cool strategies. That's why you have chess champions doing nice two-dimensional strategies all around, making lines and flank attacks. In fact, if you're thinking like... I think we killed everything in there. I'm just going to end turn and let it go. If you're thinking of like battlefield tactics from, you know, World War I or II, or, you know, cavalry flanking and all that kind of war strategies, right? That kind of stuff is totally 90% of the time two-dimensional thinking. I guess once in a while, you know, some height advantages do play into things. You know, the high ground. Anakin learned it the hard way, but clearly the higher ground does have an effect. But for the most part, you're talking about a two-dimensional field. When you switch to three-dimensional strategy, like essentially, if you can fly, you've got three. You know, you can move three ways. You can move forward, you can move sideways, you can move up. Now you've got three whole dimensions of travel, and it opens up a lot of different strategies because now, in addition to, like, you know, if we're attacking the UFO, we can, you know, attack forward, we could flank left, we could flank right, but we could also flank up or diagonally, or make a wall instead of just a two-dimensional, like a line formation is great in a two-dimensional field because you've got like the most optimal number of shots kind of in a two-dimensional platform. If you're in a three-dimensional platform, well, you could actually, instead of going 10 by 1, you could do 3 by 3 and use a two-dimensional tactic in a three-dimensional area. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, but suffice to say, it's a lot harder to wrap your head around and organize and keep track of where all your guys are in a 3D field. So, if we ever get into like actual space combat, like because everything on the Earth, excepting stuff like air combat, and even then, because it's pretty hard to hover, you're always traveling forward at a pretty high speed. It's three-dimensional, but you kind of lose the dimension backwards because you're going forwards always. Anyway, it's 2D in a way if you think about it. But if we ever get actual like space combat, it might be full-on 3D, and it'll be very difficult to train officers up, I feel, to be really good at like big fleet tactics. Honestly, if they want to just keep trickling out here, I'm just going to wait for them. I want the smoke to die down. That guy's going crazy. Okay, it's time to attack. That was ridiculous. That guy came out with the trigger pulled. Finger on the trigger. I was hoping to let some of the smoke die down so we could move in a little bit safer, so we could see what's going on, but... Hey, the smoke died down. Now we can see what's going on. Alright, let's send somebody in. You know what? Because Bagel Geese has been so lucky, let's see if that luck will continue. What the heck is happening down here? Invisible anthropods, you say? Not for long. We're getting lots of good supplies. The worst case scenario here is this guy has a grenade primed and ready to go. But Bagel Geese's luck holds. Alright, nothing new, but lots of good stuff one way or the other. Anything to the sides? Nope. So it's almost time to breach in, that's fine. What I'll do is get Bagel Geese out of the way. And I think I'll start landing people now. We'll move a little bit closer. Go to the ground level. I had pretty good random ranty spiel there for a few turns. Distracted from some of the combat going on, perhaps. And the fact that Bagel Geese is one lucky agent. One lucky son of a gun. I think we'll keep the flank squad up on the high ground. As we were discussing, utilizing three-dimensional geometry is much more difficult on your tacticians. Like your poor Ankylo here, trying to come up with clever strategies on the fly. Probably just going to group select everyone to kneel. Kneel to your commander. Alright. That sounds like a worm? Might be some sort of new enemy, honestly. I don't recognize that sound effect much. Okay, well, let's see if we can blow open these doors. That's a good start. Actually, to be honest, you did a pretty good job. Sometimes I wish we were a little bit more accurate, but it's part of the charm. I guess we'll go with slightly more accurate shots. This will get it first shot. No. Second shot? We got it eventually. Alright, so we can see inside now. If anything moves in here, we'll have a good line of sight. And, looks like this might be a really wide open UFO, so it might be interesting getting in there. It's nice in open UFOs because oftentimes you enter, see the enemies, and shoot them. But sometimes it's bad in the sense that there could be a whole bunch of them all around and it's quite the ambush. But luckily, the aliens are rarely that intelligent. And I sort of think that we've probably killed all of their, like, mobile forces that are going to come out and hunt us down. And perhaps all that's left are other blobby slime monsters. Although, actually, with a little bit of meta game knowledge, those slimy blob monsters we fought last episode, they actually only show up on, like, one type of UFO. And that was the green bubbly UFO, I think. So we probably won't see any of them on this map. It's actually kind of annoying because to get some of the ultimate research for the game, you do need to capture every single alien there is, which, you know, it's kind of a standard goal. But capturing every single alien means, you know, fighting every single alien, and some of them don't show up other than in specific types of UFOs. So if the aliens don't send the right kind, or you blow them up in one shot rather than shooting them down, it can be fairly difficult to get the right types. That guy was pretty stealthy. It's fine, you'll be okay. I'm glad I didn't rush in. Hey! Friendly fire! Not allowed. There's nothing friendly about friendly fire. Still pretty good turn. Uh-oh. Oh-oh. I chuckle, but these things are such a joke. Alright. Now, I've never tried to fight one of these things with weapons that are not Toxagun B or disruptors. I assume if you're still using machine guns, these things might be really hard to kill. But as long as you're not really lagging in tech, these things are kind of a joke. Now, I do hear that these monstrosities have all sorts of really nifty weapons that they can use. But I think you'll find that they're just going to die. So, we'll even go with accurate shots here. They're really easy to hit. They've got a ton of HP. Oh, I wasted a lot of time units there. And a miss. So yeah, they do take a lot of shots. Don't get me wrong. At some point, you actually might want to capture one. The trouble is, I actually don't have the storage space. These guys, if I remember correctly, take up basically your entire alien containment. I'll still try. You know what? I think we've done enough damage. It's probably about time to find out if it's about to. Oh, come on, Pyro. How come you don't have a stun grapple? All the other robots have stun grapples. Do I not have any robots? There we go. Alright, give this a try, Error. Head on in. One of the fun things that these big guys do is because they're so big, they go up, was it 3 Z levels? Well, 2 Z levels anyway. I think they're the tallest enemy in the game. There might be another one similar. But they actually really, they can block your line of sight, and then you can't see them. Like, it's really weird. There's some big glitches revolving around these sorts of enemies. And luckily this one just stood right out in the open, which is really quite nice. Oh, right, that took 7 to shoot? No? Oh, did we... It's not stunned. Why are we not shooting? Oh, the stun grapple ran out of energy. It only gets so many shots and then it's out of energy. Of course. Unless I've got another robot with a stun grapple, which is not looking super likely, actually. I only had 2 robots on this squad for whatever reason. Probably should rearrange them a little bit, and my other robot doesn't have any stun grapple. Alright, well let's just head in there and kill it then. It's no big deal that we didn't get the capture the first try. But yeah, usually with these guys all I do is run up point blank and just unload with Toxigun ammo. And that's it. Now, it's possible we did enough stun damage that we did capture it, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, good job. Big Smoke got a promotion. Remember, never forget, was it Bagel Geese? Whoever it was that should have died to Brain Suckers, never forget, even if I just forgot. Don't be blue. Alright, so this time, for the first time in a long time, new aliens. So actually go to alien containment. And we're just going to burn everything that we know we've already handled. We have not ever seen a micronoid aggregate. We do not need brain suckers. This stuff. Now, again, I don't really need to keep the dead one. But they're pretty small. They don't take up much storage. So, we'll keep a puddle of dead goo that we are going to call micronoid. And we'll keep a live pile of goo that we managed to somehow stun. I don't know how we did it, but the fact that we captured that is actually a great success. Alright, and then that ship actually needs to go home. So good job. Head back to base. Your base, that is. And then the mission we just finished, assuming they can manage to land, should get us more aliens. So that was a mega spawn, and we did. Oh man, I am so good at video games. We actually captured our first mega spawn alive, and it fits. I was worried that it was going to be this plus this was going to be too much capacity. No, this is great, because then once we've done the interrogation, we'll kill it, and then we'll do the autopsy. After this, I think I'm only 1 alien away from all of them. That's really good. Great success, everybody. So, with that done, pause the game. We do have another UFO. Don't let me forget. I have to go do that. But I want to see, now that we brought some items back to base, I kind of want to see what we got. Okay, so research. The big research. Biochemistry. We can research all this stuff. I'm gonna start with the mega spawn. Because it needs a large lab anyway. That makes sense. And it takes a lot of space, so I want to get it out of the lab. In case we bring something else in, I want this dealt with, so we've got lots of room. And the micronoids are small enough, we can do them after. If I'd kept any spare biochemistry small labs, I guess I could have done multiples at the same time. But honestly, there's just not enough left to do to need multiple labs. It's fine. What about physics, though? So we have 2 new weapons, 2 new UFOs. I'm going to send these to the other base, and I'm going to do the smalls at the quantum physics lab. So we're going to send our new weapons across and start researching them here once they arrive. It doesn't matter. You could research these faster with the big lab, but that doesn't matter. It's no big deal. So let's transfer some new weapons, some new suspicious-looking alien artifacts. We want to transfer from Zenobia 2 new Sorpagals. So, 1, maybe you can guess what it will be. Can you guess? Looks important. And the other... We actually had 3 new techs here. This is really good. So... The other 2 are these guys. So move them over, research them, and hopefully research this before long too. Sweet. Alright. Let me watch those fly on over in delivery, and we'll get that tech started and we'll get another mission started. I love it when there's things to do and we're not just letting time go by for nothing. It's so much more interesting. So if we look at the second base, can we see these items? Yeah. So we got some sort of missile launcher type things to go with the disruptor bomb. Maybe we'll learn about those before too much longer. We also have a big giant green ball. Interesting. Yeah, this will totally be the cloaking field because it's in this screen, so it's an accessory. And then, you know, the weapons are weapons, right? Like, it's pretty obvious. Again, I've tried not to spoil things too terribly for people that never saw it before, but... of all these things, I don't think either are going to be super useful for us. I'll go for the stasis field bomb first, because it has some value. I didn't even see the aliens using it on us, because the last brawl was crazy. But there might be some use for us to have a weapon like that. The multi-bomb is more like kind of flak. It's really good at taking down small, like, bikes and stuff. But the aliens that are small get killed in a single beam anyways, so it doesn't really matter. And it's not particularly good at the giant UFOs, the really heavily armored ones. Okay, so we're gonna send this base, I guess. You're all ready to go. Got yourself another mission. I suppose I should keep an eye on infiltrations. It's possible some of the aliens got into the buildings, but I'm pretty sure that this last attack wave was really just focused on attacking rather than infiltrating. They were just trying to destroy stuff. So let's get another UFO. We'll do a double UFO mission today. Why not? We didn't really get a chance to see the inside of the pink UFO, so maybe for this mission we'll get to see it with the other squad. One thing I did not do, which again is just lazy, I didn't take a break between missions to re-equip everyone. So this team may have some soldiers with less than max ammo or grenades. I'll probably forget, but that is something for me to try to keep my eyes on. I wonder if they'll have the entry at the same spot on the map again. One thing that's also pretty common in most XCOM games, or XCOM alikes, is there's generally very few different large UFO maps. There's generally there's a variety of maps for the small UFOs, but oftentimes the big ones just get a couple, because the maps are so huge, and I guess you're not supposed to do that many of them. They're supposed to be relatively rare. I don't know what the developers were thinking. But it is a relatively common practice, is more what I mean. So if things look relatively the same, it's probably because they are. We can't even fly over that rock. I'm getting a little bit micro-intensive here for probably not much worth. Probably could have just flown everyone over, but for the first turn, kind of half expecting an ambush, this will do for now. Okay, the fact that we didn't hear any aliens, we didn't hear the main door open or anything, I think it's safe to say we can move forward a bit. Don't want to really move too close yet. The last time we got here, they were pretty aggressive at moving outside of their door to get us. Alright. Kind of in a weird lineup, but that's okay for now. I mean, last time there was brain suckers and everything coming at us. And I honestly do think that strategically, it's to our advantage to go slowly here, because the aliens get a lot of cover from the smoke. And there could be cloaked stuff just hiding all around there. It's much easier to kill them all when you can see them. Yeah, that's some classic BlueAnkylo strategy there. You know, it's easier to kill the enemy when you can see it. The trick to winning the game is to not lose. The mission is over when all the aliens are dead. Have you tried killing all aliens? The BlueAnkylo Power Hotline suggests firing more guns at the aliens. BlueAnkylo Hotline also suggests... Well, I was going to say sending $4.99 a minute for more advice. But I'm joking. If you can't tell. I don't like to ask for money and stuff. It's just weird. I understand it's actually a pretty common thing for YouTubers to have a difficult time setting up donation pages and stuff, even though there's people who want to voluntarily send stuff like that on Patreon or whatever. But I'm definitely of the crowd where it's kind of awkward, so I tend to not even talk about it much. And for those of you who've been around on the channel for a long time, you probably know that for the most part, all of these Let's Plays are just done for fun in my spare time. It's not like I'm doing this to become internet famous or anything silly like that. Alright, good line of sight. We found a popper. The shoot the door open strategy continues to be quite effective. Next strategy, shoot the popper before we all die. Not bad. Who is that? Skelath? You know, 3 shots from pretty long distance to kill a popper? That's a good day. Kind of just gonna wait for some smoke to die down, I think. Or for more poppers to come out and eat poison. Eat toxins. I always get it mixed up. Poison and toxin. Poison is, if you ingest it, it's poisonous and then you get sick. Toxin is like, venom is like you're bitten by a snake and envenomed, and that's what hurts. But I always mix the two up. Video games mix the two up all the dang time. So I think, hopefully that wasn't a new weapon, but it was just the entropy launcher. As long as we have shields, those weird missiles shouldn't be doing anything. They may do a little bit of shield damage, but it's pretty minor. Okay, now I know that there was a skeletoid over there. The fact that we can't see him is suspicious. Hello, skeletoid? Where have you gone? We didn't kill him. There's no way. Wish we had more time units left here. Alright. Found 2. Alright, if that's all that's left, that's fine. I'm still gonna keep Mr. Scarphead out of the way. Also, I mean, I kind of thought that there might have been another one way over there. But anyway, now that we've seen them, I don't expect a whole lot here at long range, but maybe we get a lucky shot. Very, very good. Vine 01, who doesn't get any experience out of it at all. Doesn't matter. That was a good shot. Good shooting. Alright, let's try... Oh no, Greg doesn't even need it either. The robots really shouldn't get first dibs at the shots, just because they don't get any gains. wasting my time units there. It's faster if you just hold the right click button down, but then you go back and forth, back and forth. Alright, well, that might be all of them, maybe? No. Alright, there's still quite a lot of smoke. Take another look. Not with big smoke, that would have been too clever. Alright, you found another one, that's fine. There we go, that one's down. Alright, we can kind of look around a little bit. Lots of stuff up higher in the UFO if we ever get up there. There's nothing below us. That's just damage from disruptor fire. I'll pop up here. Quick look. I'm pretty sure this entrance is secure and the rest of the enemies are up or, you know, not in the UFO at all. Alright, but we're still not going to rush in yet. We're not going to rush in. We're going to remain neutral on both the west and the eastern fronts. But we're going to start moving forward because my scout tells me that there are no aliens in the immediate vicinity. I'm gonna move everybody over, waste a whole bunch of video time, because that's my job. And if I didn't move everybody, someone's OCD would be like, Blue, you forgot about blah blah blah, so-and-so up on the corner. You could have moved him down and it wouldn't have made any difference, but it would have looked nicer. Oh look, it's another one of these things. Well, we already got one, so we don't even need it. Maybe we'll get to see it shoot. They do have a lot of HP, so they can take a lot of reaction fire. The trouble is, almost every shot hits it. So, with terrible evasion, it's sit and duck. I think it takes somewhere around 15 Toxigun type Bs to kill. I think I counted when I was doing my when I was playing it before the Let's Play. I think it's somewhere around that number. Alright, well, seeing as you're up real nice and close, Mr. Scarphead, why don't you take out this behemoth? It's good practice. Like I said, they're not that tough. He didn't even fire. Like, I get the feeling they might have kind of low time units. You know, he probably started up here and just getting this far burned all of his time units out. If we had let him survive a round, maybe he could have unleashed all kinds of crazy, like, sectopod tier lasers and stuff. But I'm not sure if I've ever even seen them fire. So, I find myself having a hard time getting too concerned about those sorts of enemies. Entropy launchers everywhere. Did we win? We did not win. Well, if they're gonna send big guys at us, I'm just gonna hold off for a little bit longer. Let's get double the firing line, because if they send a bunch of aliens, you might as well shoot them. Oh, what was that? A missile that exploded? Kind of like a blaster launcher. Well, we'll see what the outcome of that is. Might be a new weapon. That's exciting. Sure, we destroyed... Poor old Blanket had her shields destroyed. We may have lost a whole bunch of shields there, actually. Because if she had 2 equipped, like I think she did, that took out 2 entire shields, and her neighbors may have still lost 1 of their 2 shields. I don't know. Alright, well, let's use our scout. I probably should have put more than just 1 soldier on the exterior here to rush in, but... Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a new weapon for sure. So it'll be a fancy-dancy alien missile launcher that we've never seen before. Basically a blaster launcher, probably. Did you have one? Just entropy. Is that it? Well, if you guys want to keep coming out, I mean, I'd rather we had our firing line than running in here and having them fire those missiles down on us, destroying all the gear. But what I will do is I'll take Brave Blanket. We'll actually just run you out of here, just so you don't have to worry about taking any more damage. Everyone else, maybe we have tons of people, we'll be fine. Blanket just gets to go home a little early. Alright, I think it might be time to enter. Alright. Now, I have a hunch that there's not much left, so I might not send in the full force. Maybe I'll send in, like, I don't know, 8? Is 8 enough? I mean, that's quite a lot already, I think. Unless there's a ton of enemies up there, I think this will be enough. I bet you we've killed most of the mission. Alright, let's head on up. We'll start with Zachnafine here. Zachnafine. Alright, well, we found some cloaked arthropods right away, which is good luck. Times 3. That one, I think that might be the missile launcher again, actually. But you know what? Zach don't care about no missile launcher. Oh, that's... What happened to the gun you're supposed to use, wasting your time units? I mean, that was a good kill, don't get me wrong. You killed him in one shot. Disruptor cannons are still really good. There we go. No rockets for you. Team Rocket will not be blasting off. Blasting off denied. Alright, just normal disruptor cannons. Okay, good job, Zach. You cleared out the last 3 aliens. You win. Alright, good stuff. That wasn't so bad, right? We got some new tech. We may have lost a couple shields that I'll have to do some micromanagement later on, but good. So the only thing I may have not covered... Oh. No, this is a spare behemoth thing. We don't need it. We can burn it. I haven't checked for like alien infestation, which could be over there, but I would say is probably unlikely. I'll put a backup just in case. Turns out there's aliens everywhere. But I think we're probably safe to let some time go by. And I think I will try to get a little bit of research going. So there's probably another new one here too. So we can research this stuff if we want. Missile weapons and missiles. We'll get to those eventually. I guess... Oh, I can show you a little trick for... I did read up a little trick for researching multiple things sort of efficiently. If I remember it, I'll show it off once we get to the missiles, because the missiles are only in the new Sorpagal base, but there is a way to research them in Zenobia without transferring them, and not like it matters, but I'll show it off. Okay, so I think, all things considered, that went really well. We got lots of new specimens to study and prod. We've got new alien tech to check out. We're almost done sort of finishing up our current set of technology, so it's good that we've got new stuff to look at, because that can keep the workshops going, basically. And that was our final disruptor beam. Okay. What else was I going to build? I think I was just going to go to the biotransport next, because it's not really a combat vessel, but I wanted 2 of these for transport missions, so I don't have to keep playing around with... Because you could do this with either the Hawks or the Retaliators. You could, you know, switch out all the gear like that, but it's kind of a pain. Also, before I forget, we need to move our medium disruptor cross bases. Okay, and before I also forget, everybody get out of the bus. I definitely have some micromanagement to do between missions to make sure everyone's equipped again, but, you know, I'll handle that later. I think also between the next episodes, I'm probably gonna sell all the bikes and cars. I think it's time to get rid of them. I don't think the missiles are really helping much at this point in the game, and we're getting all of our real damage from the big guns, and honestly, the majority of it is from the Retaliators. Even the Hawks probably don't put too much work in, but we'll keep them around. Alright, so what I wanted to do was switch out here so I didn't forget. You don't really want to be equipping 4 shields right when the UFOs attack, because then you won't have your energy charged up. Looks like we've got a pretty good start on these big ones, whatever they are. Those big green bubbles. Alright, I think that's... Okay, we do have another... I haven't even started to equip this guy yet, right? That is correct. So I've got enough gear for 3 Retaliators. Or we will shortly. Thought I was sending over a disruptor cannon to equip. Did I make an oh, maybe I found one from one of the UFOs we shot down. I thought one of my 3 originals... Oh yeah, there we go. I was missing that one. Okay. Oh, right. So I've got guns for all 4. Sorry, I just got confused a little bit. I have medium disruptors for all Retaliators, but I'm missing shields for one of them. Okay. Well, what we'll do to start with is we'll pull off one shield from its neighbors. And we'll give them to this guy. Here. And I wanted to transfer him anyway. So I need so this is the fella. Was he the latest one? Thought I... Yeah, okay, yeah. Fella's the newest, that's right. All good. I just getting confused is a little bit. Let's transfer the fella over because right now we have 3 at the same base. 1, maybe not. Okay, so Commander's on that base. Schminchkin's at this base. Dozicles is at that base. And the fella's at that base. Okay, we're all good. I'll rearrange some of these things eventually. It's fine. What I will do is send the shields over that we just unequipped. So I need to remember I have to build up like 4 more shields at some point. But I mean, the fella survived the last combat with no shields. 3 shields is still probably more than enough, to be totally honest. But 4 is the max, so that's what we'll aim for. Alright, so... Research, that's going really, really fast. Those are going quick. This might take a little bit longer. Well, actually, we know that will take a while, right? Like, it'll be twice as fast as a Retaliator, but that's still going to take about a day and a half. Finishing up our disruptor gear before too much longer. We'll craft some... oh, there's the 4 shields I needed anyway. I've already started it. Whatever. I'm getting all mixed up. The stasis field bomb is still the current priority, although if we unlock the final aircraft, I'll probably drop that to go for it instead, for instance. Okay. All that's done. Let's get a little bit of time through. New day. May as well check for engineers. Oh, the game crashed. Oh, no. When did I save it? I didn't save it after the last mission. I saved it at the beginning of the mission. That's the closest I got. Dang it. This does not happen very often, but, you know, every once in a while. So anyway, I guess what I'll do is I'll replay that last mission if I didn't save it after, of course. Of course I wouldn't have. because I was just planning on ending the episode right around now anyway. And I'll do the base and agent micromanagement in between episodes. I'll probably move around some disruptor armor and get that set up a little bit better. And I will see you next time. Hopefully the same time without a crash. That would be preferable. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed. Sorry about the unfortunate ending to the episode. But I'll see you later, and we'll see what all this new tech is. We've got some stuff to research. I'm really happy about that, so that'll be fun. All right, that's it. See you next time.